Hello, everyone. It is that time of every other week. It is Thursday, and I'm already intoxicated. Grab your wine, your protein shakes, or your tea, honey, and let's get this party started.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as an old enemy. Take your time, hurry up, the choice is yours, don't be late. Take a rest as a friend, as an old memory. Come doused in mud, soaked in bleach, as I want you to be, as a trend, as a friend, as an old.
Well, hello, all my awesome people. Here we are. It's Thursday. It's just a Thursday.
Thursday. I started drinking. So all I had for dinner was like a little salad, and now I'm drinking. So there's no telling what's going to happen.
Well, I had some sushi. I had Chinese food for lunch. Look, I found Chinese food for $5. Okay.
Where?
So, when I'm on my lunch break at work, like I don't like leaving my car. I don't like leaving the main drag that we work on because like I ain't gonna waste my hour lunch break driving around to find some food or waiting in a line. So I'm used to going to like McDonald's, KFC, whatever, fast food. I'm sick of fast food. I'm over it. So I was going somewhere. I forget where I was going, and I saw Lynn's Walk, and I'm like, "What the fuck is Lynn's Walk?" I'm like, "There's Chinese food here. Like, whatever." I looked it up and I looked on the menu and they have this called Workman's Mini Lunch Break menu. And it's just like 5 or 6 dishes to choose from. And it's like, a smaller portion, but it's quick and ready to go. And so it's only $5. And I'm like, Chinese food for $5 for lunch? I'm in. So I had Chinese food for lunch and a Red Bull. That's it.
Well, before we take a look at who's in the chat, why don't we talk about what we're drinking? I had to bring a tried and true. Honestly, it was just because I forgot to get wine earlier and then I had to go to Aldi. So I just picked up a bottle of wine and I could not decide. I had like 3 bottles in my hand and I was like, you know what? Just screw it. I don't even care anymore. So it's just the Winking Owl. It's just a sweet red. That's all I'm drinking tonight. Brittany, how about you? What are you drinking?
I already had a glass of this out of the bottle last weekend, but I figured I'd just finish it. It's L'Or de Sud. I don't know. It's from France. So I'm in France tonight, but it's just a standard white, nothing too crazy, but I didn't really drink all of this. I already had a missing glass out of it. So I'm having.
Very, very good. Let's take a look in here, in this chat here. Oh, let me scroll up. People are chit-chatting. Debbie Dunaway, welcome, Debbie. You were the first one in the chat, and then obviously Hugo 8-Track started the conversation. They are having Crystal Light and vodka, which sounds delicious. We have a protein shake in here. We have iced tea, white wine. Hello, Crafting Witch. Nina is here. Brent, the Smiling Hag. Anthony, obviously. Trish, hello, honey. Ivy is here. Who else is here? We have Catherine. Megan is here as well. I think there was a question, but I don't remember. Someone said you look great in blue.
Oh, thank you. I'm just wearing my scrubs. I was supposed to get out of work today at 7, and I was there at 7:30, and then at 7:31, a guy came in who cut off his finger, and he's on blood thinners, so the blood was flying everywhere, and I'm like, we're not closed. So I didn't get out of it. Like, you can't turn a guy away who's got blood splaying everywhere and his fingers like hanging off of his hand. I mean, kind of had to do what you got to do. So I was like, okay, we're not closed. New patient. Here we go. So I didn't get out of work until 8, and then I just hopped right in here. So these are my blue scrubs.
Yes. Blue, well, welcome. So glad you could join the live since we switched days. Lana's Mind. Yes, you are here. We are live right now. If you guys are new or maybe forgot, I don't know how we've been doing this for 4 years, but tonight is Broomsticks bullshit. So we have no topics. We bring nothing to the table, honey. We are just here to hang out, chit chat. These shows are driven by you guys. So whatever you guys want to talk about, we are following your lead. You are the ones in charge of this ship today. And whether we sink, whether we go down with the Titanic, or whether we survive, it's all up to you.
So, one big thing that recently just happened was Beltane or Beltana, depending on which way you want to pronounce, which side you want to go on there. The funny thing about Beltane is that was like the Sabbath that I originally first used the word witch. Like, I first classified myself and dedicated myself to the craft. It was on Beltane God like 18, 20 years ago. But it's always like, I know a lot of people don't celebrate all the Sabbaths, but there's always one, the ones, especially people that don't celebrate the whole wheel, there's always that one, for most people it's Samhain because, Halloween. But, for me, it's always either Midsummer or Beltane, because that was the time when I first said, this is what I am, this is where I'm going, and this is what I'm doing. So it's kind of a special one to me. And I usually like to celebrate it, but work did not allow that this year. That is absolutely fine. But yeah, I didn't, for people asking, how was everybody's Beltane? I didn't celebrate it, unfortunately, because I had to work. But I'm interested to hear what everybody else did, if they did anything.
I didn't know it was Beltane because I don't care personally. And there's another thing that I hate when people say Beltaltana.
That's the Gaelic, that's the Irish pronunciation.
I know, but I don't like it.
And we're Irish, so you're being mean to your people.
My people. Well, you know what? They almost died because of potatoes. It's just comedy, people. Calm down.
I had a potato famine. Oh Lord!
I'm just here for your entertainment. I'm just drunk and poor.
The thing about Irish is, in my family, my parents or the people, I think I'm like the 4th generation or whatever. The part of my lineage that came to America from Ireland back then, there was they treated the Irish very, very poorly, like slaves and whatnot. So it was on the DL. Throughout my whole lineage until I did an ancestry DNA. They wouldn't even tell me when I was a kid that I was Irish. They made up some other, ethnicity that I was. They didn't tell me. And I'm thinking to myself now, I'm like, why didn't y'all tell me? I was born in the 80s. There is no fucking potato famine going on. There's no Irish it's not the same anymore. Why did they keep it from the 4th generation? I don't understand that. But I didn't even know I was Irish until I took ancestry DNA. Now I'm just a little Irish. I mean, I'm the whole thing. Fucking
both
weird.
tits.
This is the Irish.
Yeah, I was thinking when you were telling that story, I was trying to think what the first like Sabbath was when I considered myself a witch. And I don't really remember, honestly. Like, I remember bits and pieces because I was introduced to Wicca specifically by a woman named Brenda, who I've already talked about her plenty of times, but prison. um, I can't remember the first time that I can tell you this. The first time I thought, okay, maybe I'm more of a witch than whatever this whole Wicca thing is when I was trying to connect with Demeter. And
Okay.
I just felt like, so I had like an altar set up and I was just trying to build communication. But, back then, especially in like the virtual space, I don't know about in like in person, but virtually, like on YouTube and stuff, I felt like you were either a Wiccan or you were nothing. Like that was just the vibe, right? Like you had to be Wiccan. And I just remember thinking like, this isn't for me. Like, I don't know what is going on here, but she's not about it. And I'm not about her. Like, this just feels weird to me. Like, I'm more interested in the magic and the spell work than I am about whatever this is. That's the first time that I really thought, like,
Whatever this is.
Whatever this is, like, I just, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I found her to be boring.
She had a dried up pussy and I wasn't for it.
I wasn't for it. I gotta go.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I sometimes miss the whole exploration of being a young fledgling, like, all that learning that you're doing at that time. I miss that feeling of like not knowing anything and feeling like you know everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Discovering shit, like even the smallest, dumbest shit, like discovering the Rose of Jericho. You're like, oh, cool, a plant that like revives itself. It's like all that, just the stupid stuff,
Yeah.
But
I feel you. I kind of feel like too, it's one of those things where when you're working in a field for so long, whether it's medical, tech, regardless of what you do, like you almost get desensitized to the stuff that's happening around you. And I feel like that's a lot of what's happening also like within like the online space, the witchy space, like the books, the videos, like we're all kind of just desensitized to it. We're just like, okay, we've seen it all. We've heard it all. We get it. I mean, that's the constant conversation that's happening about like not creating witchy content, not whatever. Like, it's just kind of like, and when you're brand new to it, like you don't have anything to base it on. So everything's new, everything's exciting, everything's an exploration. And then like you're an old crone or you've been at it for so long, you're just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to do what I normally do. This is what I like to do. I don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say. Like it just changes.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's crazy how like your life changes along with the craft too. And then you find yourself looking back at the stuff that you thought was like super fantastic. And you're like, that was so not fantastic.
Are the things that you thought were so, I don't know, crazy or like, that's really dark or that's too much? And I'll say, oh, that's just around the mill.
Right. Like I remember when we first were exploring like War Water, we're like, oh, let's put some cat shit in it. Yeah. We're like all getting as nasty as possibly can. And then like after a while, you're like, yeah, it's War Water. Like what?
It's just War Water.
It's just whatever.
It's normal for me to chase the neighborhood cats around, catching her, getting them. No. Hey, come here. It's just a normal, my every Thursday night.
Funny thing, this has nothing to do with witchcraft, but I was thinking about it because I was telling my my coworkers about it today. So I don't have TikTok, but to me, when I say like TikToks, I mean like Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, because let's face it, they're all the same, right? So I was scrolling one day through, I think it was Instagram Reels, it might have been. Yeah, I think it was Instagram Reels. And there was this piece of plastic with hair on it. Have you seen this, Justin? So it's this tiny piece of plastic, and there's this hair on it, and she's combing the hair on this tiny piece of plastic. And I'm going, what the fuck is this? This is why I don't have TikTok. This is why I don't watch this shit. What the fuck is this? She goes, I'm gonna see a John tonight. And so I need to make sure that my pute is rete. And I go, what the fuck is this? And she's combing it. And she goes, he likes a little hair down there. And then she shows the whole thing. It's a toupee for your pussy. It's called a pute. So I'm sitting there like just staring at her like, what the fuck? So she glues on this little toupee for your pussy. And the thing is, that's fine and dandy, whatever. It's fucked up or whatever. But what happens if he's going down there and the glue comes undone?
Here's what this is just my firm belief, okay? There are those moments where you're watching like TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook Reels, like you were saying, and you think, what the fuck is this? And then you realize, what the fuck? Why the fuck have I watched this 3 times in a row? Like, to comprehend what is going on. Like, it's like there's almost no need for talent or any enthusiasm. If it's like the ugly you are, the dirty you are, you just sing terribly and dance half naked, and people are going to watch you because it's like a train wreck. Like, they can't look away. And I started to think there's a lot of conversation about TikTok and how bad it is, for the world. I kind of just think like it's the perfect like example of who we really are as humans, and that is that we're just fucked. Like, it's like Amber saying, like Amber said, she's combing it. Grabbing which said, okay, it took a whole 16 minutes worth of conversation to move to pussy face. Oh, you are my people. I just can't understand, like, why they don't bother shaving it or whatever, but you have to have a pute. And the thing is, that glue ain't gonna stay while he's down there. So it's kind of one of those things like he's gonna come up with a pute. If I had no couth about me, I would do stupid shit like that. Like, I used to do stupid shit like that, but now the internet, like, there's no way. Like, 15 million people would see it, and you'd be always known as a pootie toupee person. Like, I don't want that to be my legacy on my tombstone. She was an advocate for pussy toupees. Like, that's not a cause I want to put my name behind. I'm just saying. Part of the whole thing is that someone's selling these. Like, she didn't make it. But you know how like wigs have a head that you put them on? She had that's what the plastic was. When she lifted it up, you could it was a plastic pussy. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up, actually, because I was thinking this too. Those baby alives, I don't get it. It creeps me out. Like those babies, those silicone babies that look like real babies, and people pay like $1,200 for it. For what? It's a hunk of fucking silicone. And they buy clothes for it. They take it with them to Publix. Like, I don't get it. It creeps me the fuck out. Like, this is what I'm saying. People talk about, YouTube, TikTok. That's not the problem, honey. We're just fucked. We're just fucking weird as a society. Like, we've evolved so far that we are regressing back into buffoonery at this point. Did you see what Debbie said? What if she glued her pussy closed? Like, I just don't. I'm so baffled at all of it. Honestly. I swear to God, you guys go on Instagram or Facebook and type in pute. You're gonna see what I'm talking about, and you guys are gonna roll over dying.
Oh, I so needed that.
I'm telling you, those baby lives, it has their mouth open, strange and mildly disturbing. It's so disturbing.
Yeah.
And, okay, and let me just also say this. I'm not trying to trauma Trump anybody, but I've had a baby child die. So don't give me your shit. It is creepy. I'm sorry. That is so creepy. I don't understand it. Like I really just feel like we have gone off the deep end.
Seriously, society really has honestly gone. Woo! The pendulum has
carrying silicone babies and putting pussy toupees on. What is happening?
Where's the world going?
Like, imagine what they're gonna think in 500 years when they like excavate these things and they're like, "What the hell is this hair patch?" And they like find something, noticing that it's a pussy toupee. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? Are they going to like start excavating some house and see all these silicone babies and think, what kind of sociopath had 15 fake babies, put themselves in debt, $20,000
before the pussy toupees and whatnot? Remember the vabbing?
What?
You don't remember the vabbing craze?
I remember bedazzling, where they would put
vabbing. So where girls would take their fingers, put it in their poo-hay, and then dab it as perfume. You don't remember that?
No. Oh, is that for like what's it called?
Pheromones.
Yes, pheromones.
They called it vabbing instead of dabbing, and so they would put it here and put it here as perfume.
Honey.
Can you imagine someone with like a yeast infection?
Okay, let me tell you a story. I was not the Merkins. I'm so done. Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. When I was how old was I? Maybe like 10 or 12. And we were getting ready. This is Sunday. Okay. It was Sunday. It was church day. We were in the choir waiting area, about to go on and perform a service for our dear Lord. And one of the ladies, it stunk so bad in there. And of course, I'm like 10. I don't really know. And one of these ladies, her name is Ernestine. She goes, all right, who's on their period? Who didn't change their pad? It stinks so bad in here. And I thought, oh my God. I don't even remember why I brought that up. Oh, vabbing, that's why. And now I still don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Not the seafood, honey.
Oh my God.
No one needs to smell. No, we don't need to smell a sweaty pussy or sweaty balls. Like none of that. No, ma'am. Absolutely not. And some people just smell a little more irony than others.
Oh my God. Not the seafood.
Okay, we're so sorry. If you've never been here before, we're 23 minutes in. I don't even know what the fuck's happening. But we've done this for 4 years. Dana, what the fuck did I walk into? Girl, you should know. There's literally no understanding.
Dead babies, no, alive babies that look dead or something, and vabbing and smelly punanies.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, everyone needs to remember to shower regularly.
Please.
It's just crazy to me. Insane to me. And every time I watch something, I just think, who's the problem really? When I look over and I see 398,000 likes, is it really the person making the content? Or is it the rest of us psychos who are watching it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
shit.
Like porn. Like people talk shit about porn, but people watch it. Is it the people who do it that are the problem, or the people who watch it?
Watch it that are the
like,
problem.
You're consuming it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh Lord, it's too much.
It's I don't fucking know. But it was something I came across that I did the same thing. I watched it 3 or 4 times being like, what the fuck is this? And when I figured the whole thing out, I just started laughing hysterically. So when there was no patients, all the patients were gone. I shared it with the office and they were all just dying laughing. They're like, what the fuck? I go, I know. Oh shit.
It is like a train wreck.
You can't.
Good evening, Russell.
Yeah.
It is. There's some things you just can't look away. And then you have like that secondhand embarrassment where you're like mortified for them and they just seem unfazed by the situation. But you just can't swipe up. You just have to keep watching.
I mean, I've done the swipe down to restart it and then swipe back up to rewatch it again. Oh shit. I don't know. Okay, the thing is being in the medical field now, the people, the stupidity of the society that I see that come in with the ailments that they created themselves by doing something stupid. I was telling Justin earlier in the green room, like, part of me is just so dumbfounded, the stupidity of society. But the other part of me is just like, keep the circus going. Let's go. Treat them and street them. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. I don't know where the world's coming to. I don't
know either. Like, a patient complains of foot pain and then you take their sock off and their toe falls off inside of it. It's like, how long has this been going on? Oh, it just started. No, it didn't. Your foot is necrotic. What is happening? No, ma'am. Like, oh God, it's too much.
Oh, I mean, I guess, that's why I do like my job, because we call it the circus. It's complete and utter bullshit, but it's just so fucking funny. Fuck.
All eyes on me in the center of the ring, just like a circus.
Well, our office is like a circus, because you walk in and then all our offices are in the middle and the patients all the rooms are on the outside, like on the outside of the circus. So you have to walk in a complete circle to go from to check in to check out. And it's just, we call it the circus. Okay, now we're showing some lipstick. All right. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. I'm a beauty girl. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is when people say, hey, I was getting in the shower and I fell and this shampoo bottle went up my ass, know that it's never true.
You actually had that happen?
A couple of times. Yes, it is a rose. Every rose has its thorns.
They have that on TV.
Yeah, I got it from the Dollar Tree. I just licked it. It didn't have a flavor. I used to work at an urgent care. The craziest thing I saw was a man who had his dick stuck in a water bottle. He said he wanted to see if it would fit. I'm done.
I mean, I work in an urgent care too. So, girl, the stories we could both tell each other, shit. And the funny thing is, my urgent care is right, literally you could take a rock and throw it at the hospital. It's right next to the hospital. You could throw it at the fucking hospital. And the people choose to come here when their fingers are falling off. I don't understand. What made you think, let me go to the urgent care, even though the emergency room is right next door? I don't fucking know.
People they don't know what they do. They just pull up and expect you to wait on them like a goddamn prince. Yes, I did. I cut it. It's like a wolf mullet situation. I don't know. I had to change it up. I was sick of it. I was over it. I thought about driving off a bridge.
So is the back all uneven still, though?
No, it's even now. It's just it's long. It's not long, but it's longer. It's still has some.
You have an 80s mullet, is what you.
Yeah.
You have an
100%.
80s mullet. Yeah.
And I love it. I haven't done it before, so I'm like, I need to try something different.
So you go back to work tomorrow, though, right? And they're going to see it for the first time?
I go back to work tomorrow.
And they're going to be like, what the fuck?
What did you do? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, gosh, you change your hair so much. And I was like, and you change husbands so much.
At least I change my hair more than you change your underwear.
Right. Which is the problem.
Who is the problem here?
And that's why your pussy smells like a fucking goddamn
That's why
fish.
you're coming in here with yeast infection for the 15th week in a row. Jesus Christ. So.
I'm done.
Now we have all that out of the way. Half an hour in. We've talked about all the goodies.
Okay.
I think. I figured we would pull some cards.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
So you have an oracle, right?
I do. I have the Southern Gothic Oracle.
Okay, since you're pulling oracle, I will pull tarot.
Perfect.
So I am pulling from Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Those of you may already have this. If you don't, you should have it. It's awesome. So we're going to do a general for the whole audience. Just, kind of like a general for May. We're in the beginning of May now. It's so crazy. I feel like April just,
flew by.
Like April what? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it was Easter and then it was May.
I feel like the older I get, the quicker the years go by.
That's accurate. That's very accurate. Yes.
Welcome, Branson. You finally made it to a live. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, welcome. Branson. Love seeing decks I don't have.
Dreams of Gaia is amazing. And the funny thing is, one of the very first decks I bought, and I haven't used it in a very long time. So I pulled it out for the month of May because, as you guys know, I change up what oracle and what tarot deck I use each month. So for May, I decided to use the Dreams of Gaia, and then oracle for this month, I am using none other than Seasons of the Witch, Beltane, Oracle, another great one. So those are my May decks. So let's do the thing, right?
Those are short. I'll have to check that one out. White Light Oracle. Okay. I'll check that one out. I haven't heard of that. I got my first Dream Time Tarot from you, Brittany.
Yep. I remember that. Oh, shit. Stuff's flying out. It wants to be read. It's flying out. So enough with the shuffling, bitch. Get to the fucking point.
Right.
Oh.
Elena Fairchild.
I have a 10-year-old whose room is right above me, so I'm hearing jumping and stuff, and I'm hoping he doesn't come through the ceiling. Okay. So, general reading for May. What is May going to come through for us? What in May? It's going to be May. All right. Oh, okay. So if you're not familiar with the Dreams of Gaia, it goes in suits of the elements. So we're going to look this one up and we're going to see what we got here. I believe this is the earth element. So we're going to look it up and see what we got going on. And then yours is going to complement mine.
It is. Oh, fuck. You dumb fucking whore.
Oh, I passed.
Oh, you're in love with the Carnival of Souls Oracle, are you, Karen?
We'll I have it. I got it. I have it. Okay, so 6 of Earth. 6 of Earth. Like I said, it goes in the suits of the elements. So that is the 6 of Earth. So the key words for this are family, community, providence, protection, dependability, responsibility, duty, service, self-sacrifice. Key phrases: responsibility and duty to family, give love, care, and support, lead by example, a time of sharing, learn about nature, makes sense, important matters need attention, protect the animals, forests, and oceans, help for the right reasons. So a small little paragraph here. The 6 of Earth reminds us of our responsibility and duty to our family, especially the younger members. It asks us to be selfless and in service to those who are in need or dependent on us for love, care, and support. If you have children, it is your responsibility to provide them with a home that is safe, free from potential harm. It is your duty to provide for their physical and emotional needs, love and shelter them. As a parent, it is your responsibility to set a good example, to be a role model to those around you. Educate them, teach them to be truthful, respectful, and do unto others as they would have done to them. Teach them about life's outside the home. of nature, of the world they dwell on, and their role as custodians and caretakers of this blue-green planet. Teach them by word and deed, lead by example. So that is actually very, very fitting for the month of May. What'd you get, Justin?
I got the mason jar, which we're talking about Earth. This could be a very good symbolism to don't use plastic, use glass. But basically, so the keywords are mentorship and protection. Basically, this is all about opening up to new paths of wisdom and connecting with people. If you want, I can read what it says. There's a little paragraph here. It says, when you see the mason jar card, prepare for an uncertain future. Winter is coming, as they say, and you will need to save your resources. So make ready. Remember the lessons of your mentors and guides. Our ancestors remind us to stay on the path of righteousness, avoiding temptations and wastefulness. The mason jar may represent something spiritual to you, or it may symbolize someone in your life who has important advice for you on your current journey. Open yourself up to lessons outside of yourself, as they will lead to new paths of wisdom. So
that pretty. Actually fits very, very well for May. It does. Every now and then on Broomsticks and Bullshit, we like to just pull a tarot, pull an oracle, do a reading for the month, just kind of get those, divinatory juices flowing. So I think, May is going to be good. I'm really excited about the upcoming summer months and all that kind of good jazz. Yeah.
I'm excited too. I mean, we have one more episode this month, I think, and I need to reach out to the potential guests. The person's here in the audience, but I haven't reached out yet. So we have one more episode. Actually, we have two more episodes this month. We have one on the 16th and one on the 30th. So we have 3 episodes in May. So we have that, and then what else is going on in May? Content.
Mother's Day. Mother's Day. Hello.
Mother's Day is happening in May. I don't remember what day. I can never remember Mother's Day or Father's Day.
Next Sunday, I think. I think it's the 12th or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the 11th or something?
It's like the 11th. I believe it's either next Sunday or the Sunday after. But yeah, Mother's Day is in May, and then you have Father's Day in June. I don't know. I love the whole summer season. So I'm kind of excited about maybe spending more of my time. Lately, I've been working Monday through Thursday, 12-hour shifts, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and half of Monday off. But I've been spending all of my free time playing Elder Scrolls Online. Those of you who know it, if you don't, you don't. But I started playing it, and I've been playing it nonstop. So I'm hoping to kind of wind that down a little bit because I'm a little crazy with it. But I want to spend a lot of the summer months like going, because we live on the coast now. I want to go, to the beach and all those kinds of things. Because instead of like taking an hour and a half to get to the beach where it was from Orlando, now it only takes 10, 15 minutes to get there. So I'm kind of excited about that. But, a lot of people say like, oh, Florida must suck in the summertime. Look, if you're not from Florida, yes, it does. But when you've been down here so long, it's like.
It's nice.
It's like whatever,
It is. Yeah, I was thinking that I wanted to get to the beach. We were talking about that. Getting to the beach here soon. Because I haven't been in a while. And it's so warm out, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know.
I think it was 88 degrees today in May. Yeah, May 2nd was 88 degrees. Because I was sitting on my lunch break. I was thinking about turning my car off and just rolling the windows down. And then I looked at the little thermometer. I'm like, no. Not going to do that.
I know. And we've had nice weather up until this, like cooler weather, I should say, up until this point, which is really surprising. But got the warmer weather coming. And then the summer months. I was going to say something and I forgot.
The end of season 4 is when? July
11th is the last episode of season 4. So we're etching towards the end of another great year.
We are.
We are. Oh, I got into a car accident.
Oh, yeah. And you text us, you're like, well, I haven't gotten a car accident so long, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what the fuck?
I did not know what to do. I'm like, what the fuck? And the guy hit me and then wouldn't give me the insurance, wouldn't give me his ID, wouldn't stay for the police, like nothing. It wasn't bad. Like it
was just a bumper tap.
Yeah, it's just shocking. It's just like I was literally opening up my monster and then he rammed into the back of me. I literally thought the rapture was happening. And monster went everywhere. And my neck hurt. So they gave me I did go to the ER just to be safe, but they did give me some muscle relaxers. And it's just now starting. It was mainly just on this right side, but when I got hit, I was like this, like opening up my drink, and I was like, oh fuck, like that. I didn't know what the fuck happened. But yeah, so that happened, and he ran. So then I had to call the police.
Eating food.
Yes, he had food all in his mouth, and he was like, I'm not going to give you, he literally told me to my face, I'm not giving you my insurance. I'm not going to let you see my ID. I'm not staying for the cops because I don't want my insurance rate to go up.
At that point, you should have called 911 immediately. Like you're supposed to, like, once you realize that no one's really hurt, you call 911 immediately and wait for the cops. So if he leaves, that's a hit and run. And the funny thing is that he let you take a photo of his registration, but wouldn't let you see his ID, which makes no sense because his name is on there.
Well, so here's the thing. He gave me a business card. And then the registration didn't have his name on it. It was a company. It was a company name on the registration. But they found him anyway, apparently, is what the insurance lady said. So I guess is whatever it is. But yeah, I was like, well, it's not technically a hit and run. And they were like, no, it is. If you get into an accident and they don't stay, or they refuse to exchange insurance information, that is a hit and run. I said, oh, okay.
But you said the cop said that he's like, oh, we know who he is. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm guessing he's done this before, but yeah, I was just like, so originally I worked earlier on Fridays and I was covering somebody else. So I was going to work an overnight. And that's when the accident happened. So my manager was like, I feel terrible. Like if I wouldn't have had you cover this shift, this wouldn't have happened. But like, I was just kind of just in shock. I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. But it all worked out. Like my car's fine. I just have some little cracks on my bumper from like where he hit me. But in retrospect, like it's fine. It just kind of took me back. And I had posted on Instagram just because some people were messaging me and I'm like, there's too much going on. I just want to post that, like, look, I've been in an accident. Just like, give me a moment. And then literally I shouldn't have done that because then my inbox really blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
when you say accident, people don't know the length and dexterity of the accident.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm fine. I promise I'm fine.
You were stopped. So you stopped in traffic.
So I was stopped in traffic under an overpass. And I don't know like how hard he hit me, but he literally like just hit me. I was like,
which means he was probably reaching down in a McDonald's bag or something, not paying attention, not realize how close he was to your car, slammed on the brakes, but didn't hit him soon enough. You know what I mean? So he probably didn't hit you like at a fast speed, but he hit you because he wasn't paying attention to how far he had to put the brakes on.
Yeah, and I think too, he had like those fish hook things, like whatever they are on the front of his truck.
Yeah.
So that's what hit me, I think. And he said this to me. He's like, well, I guess I'm kind of glad I had those fish hooks because I probably would have fucked up the back of your car. Okay.
And then you say he was like a 50 or 60-year-old guy, like
he was, and he's like patting me on the back like he's my grandpa. Yeah, you just give me a call and let me know how much it is. What are you, my sugar daddy? Like, I don't know if you're good for the money. If you want to walk away and say nothing, write me a check for $5,000. Like, cash at me $5,000, and then we can move on.
So they're going to cover when they get a hold of his insurance or whatever the hell it is. Obviously, it's going to cover your ER visit, right?
I hope so, yeah.
And your ER visit and your bumper to get repaired, or does it not need to get repaired?
Oh no, it needs to be repaired. And my car is a 2019, so like it's like a whole one piece. So that whole thing is probably going to need to be replaced. And you know how expensive that's going to be.
Right. And the pain and suffering. Let's not forget about the pain and suffering.
The pain and suffering, honey. I've been just distraught. And then my followers have been distraught. Like,
you got to get the money for them too. You got to get the money from them.
We have to account for them. Judge. I need the jury to understand. You had all 3,200.
The fact that they know who he was, or said like, okay, we got this. Like it's not the first time he's done it. Kind of gave you that impression. It's not the first time he's done it.
Yeah,
really just speaks volumes. That obviously, if he didn't want to go through his insurance, that means he's already has lots of accidents on his insurance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's already done this multiple times, and now that's why he's doing these hit and runs, because he can't afford to have his insurance be exchanged, and he was probably driving a company truck.
Oh yeah, it was a company truck. And when I tell you this company truck was brand new, it was like a big ass black Ford 2024, because it tells you on the registration what year it is. Brand new fucking truck. Just rammed into me with no goddamn lube, nothing. Didn't even buy me dinner first. Just went right up in my ass. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So I did that. I missed work, but I mean, all that worked out. But I just was like, okay, I just need to unplug for a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. So I just now feel like, I mean, my work week is just now starting, but I feel like, okay, my energy levels are just now starting to get back up to where I'm like I wanted to make content today, but it didn't happen. I had too much stuff to do. So I'm like, it's just going to have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, it's so weird because your work week is now just starting. Mine is just ending. Today was my Friday. Thank God, because I swear everybody is impaling themselves this week.
They are.
Everybody is impaling. Like, I've had so many lacks. I can't. I mean, people coming off with blood everywhere and coming into our ER with their freaking finger hanging off. I looked at Quincy, the other intake, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, stick a fork in me. I can't do this anymore. And thank God this is Friday.
Well, yeah, we had a patient have a full-on whole steak fall out of his pants.
And we're not talking about a dong.
And we're not talking about a dong. I'm talking about a full-on steak sirloin. First time in 5 years in emergency medicine. I've seen that. So there's that. Interesting. We'll say that. It's been interesting.
Well, the funny thing about that whole steak issue is the fact that the steak was cooked.
It was cooked.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what would make more sense. Would a raw steak make more sense, or does the cook? Like, I don't know.
He went to Walmart or something, and just because that happens, they steal steaks. One of the Walmarts that I frequented, not frequented, but I would frequent there because I worked with Walmart and we would go visit. They had spider wrapped, like security wrapped, their steaks because people were shoving them down their pants. So what really gets me is the fact that the steak that fell out of this guy's pants, okay, if it was raw, he stole a steak. But the fact that he cooked it and then shoved it down his pants, I'm not understanding where the meat. I mean,
I don't know where the meat was. Maybe it was warm. Maybe he was having sex with it. Like, I don't know.
I don't. I mean, I can't.
I don't know which is more creepy, cooked or raw. Right. I don't know where any of it makes sense. It's really one of those things where you work in the medical field, I feel like, where you see, and this goes on with this whole conversation of this whole episode with TikTok and just everything that we like, pussy toupees, the whole 9 yards. The real truth of the matter is, I really believe that I'm not like a mental health professional. This is just my opinion. People are not self-aware. That's really the truth. They are not self-aware. They think that they just blend in with society. You have a meth head who has, pores and all this coming in with no shoes on, dirt everywhere, and they just act like they're normal. Like everybody looks how they look. Like there's just no self-awareness going on. And I don't know what we need to do to fix it.
I don't know. I think the world has completely gone bonkers. I don't know. I just, and the funny thing is you see it everywhere, whether you're in the medical field or not. It really doesn't matter. You see it everywhere, but I think we just get the brunt of it because we see them when the shit's crashing. Yeah, they're at their worst and the shit's crashing and they need help to get back to whatever it was they were before they came in with shit fucking falling apart. I know things about people that I wish I didn't know about people because I update patients' charts and the things that I see and read, and I can't. Like people who purposely get STDs and spread them around to stick it to the boyfriend that gave them the first STD. Her main mission was to get all of the STDs, like it was a fucking like level of a game show. She had to get all of them, have them checked, all the boxes checked off, and every week she's coming in with a new STD. And gets excited when we tell her that's now not chlamydia, now it's gonorrhea. It's like, oh, another box checked. Who does that? I just don't understand.
I just wish, told you this in the green room. I just wish that I was that delusional. Like, I think there's like, a level of delusion that I think a lot of us aspire to. And I think it is like the millennial generation and older. Like we've just seen so much shit. We've been through so much shit that we just don't know how to we just can't anymore. And I just I want to be Jennifer Lopez level delusional. Like I just want to go through life thinking that I have that everybody loves me. I want to be that delusional where my main goal is checking every box on the STD list. Like that is my goal in life. Like to be that simplistic is just honestly, it's inspiring.
Like I don't know. The way it all came about is I've only worked there for 3 months. And I've seen her just about all 3 months. And I remember scanning her chart the first time and it was chlamydia. And at that time, you don't think anything of it. Like, oh, like she's got an STD, whatever. You update the chart, blah, 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 what we did for her, yada, yada, yada. And then when she came in March with gonorrhea, I'm like, why does this name sound familiar? And then my supervisor's like, oh, that's Brittany Torres. That's what she does. And I was like, okay. And then the next month, it was the next set. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh, you don't know? And I'm like, no, I don't know. And like, oh, she is on a mission to check off all the STDs on the paper.
I'm on a mission to become an ancestor as quickly as possible.
I mean, I don't know.
I do want to say I feel so drained. I just want to die. I feel like that is a millennial experience just in a nutshell. Like I just can't anymore. Just don't even literally. I'm not even joking you. When the guy ran into me, I thought, okay, the first thing I thought was Jesus has come back and I was wrong about everything. That was the first thing I thought about. The rapture's happening, honey. Jesus, don't take me now. I haven't reached the level of fame I want to reach. Number 2, I thought, I'm not live streaming. Sir, can you just get back in your car and ram me again in about 5 minutes? I'm going to go live on Instagram. Everyone loves the drama, honey.
But I mean, that's what the world has become now. Is everybody, wants the shot, wants the live, wants the whatever, for Instagram or whatever. And I think a lot of people are having a hard time too deciphering what's real and what's fake on social, especially reels, because you have to look at a reel and you have to ask yourself, they set up the camera for this. So you think this is all just improv, like they're capturing it kind of like impromptu, incognito kind of random, but it's not. Because if you're setting up a ring light, a camera, a microphone to capture this little ditty over here, dude, that shit's all stage. It's all fake, you know? And that's what people don't understand, that these are all scripted, like little reels that people are creating. None of this shit's real, you know?
Mm-hmm. I just feel like our generation wants to die.
Well, I mean, I'm a different generation than you are because I'm older than you by like a whole. I'm 40, about to turn 43, bitch. Like the funny thing is that when I first started working where I work, everybody thought I was like in my late 20s to mid 30s, somewhere along there, whatever. And I was talking one day about the 80s, how I was born in the 80s. So I kind of, everybody grows up in 2 decades. You grew up in 2, not 1. You can't say I'm a child of the 80s or I'm a child of the 90s. No, if you're born 81, you're a child of the 80s and 90s, right? So I was talking about growing up in the 80s or whatever. And my supervisor turns around. She's on the other side of the room. She goes, "Wait, you grew up in what year?" I said, "I was born in 81. She goes, "How old are you?" And I said, 42. She goes, "Oh my God, we thought you were all in your like late 20s, maybe 32. I'm like, "No, girl, I'm 42. And everybody was just flabbergasted because I don't act, whatever they thought 42 was. It just makes you think like all these 20-something-year-olds think that 40s should act a certain way. And that's what really kind of got me, more than like, you look so young for your age, like good for you, like whatever, self-esteem boost, whatever. I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking like, what do you think a 42-year-old should act like then? Like, are we supposed to act a certain way? What?
Me too. I tell every time I do, like, even my haircut, I'm like, okay, am I dressing too young? Because like I wear like 5-inch inseam shorts. Like I wear shorter shorts. I feel young. And so I always ask Penelope, I'm like, okay, do I look okay? Like I've reached that age where I'm like asking my kid, like, you know what I'm saying? But we did have a student at my place of employment, and she's like, how old are you? Like, are you like, she was literally 19. I'm like, I wish I went to college right at 17. And she was this. Okay, so this was just an initial response. She's like, what are you, like 40? And I said, and what are you, like morbidly obese? Don't you ever make me older than I am. I'm 28 and I will stay 28 until the day I die. Let me tell you something, honey. I need to get a facelift, a hairline lower. I need to have, like, no. The niacinamides, the peptides, all of the ides, I want them all on my face. The skin needs to be slicked. I gotta, like, you know how it is that, Brittany, too, you do all the face stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't mind aging. I just want to age as gracefully as possible. Right.
No, you can't. And that's the thing, is you can't, like, these creams and all these things that say that, like, oh, it's going to do. No, if you look at it, it says reduce fine lines or reduce dryness or reduce. Nothing gets rid of everything. You're going to age no matter what. You're just going to do it at a less noticeable kind of rate. It'll still be there. It's just going to be less noticeable. So like I have a collagen oil that I love from Anima Mundi that I love. I use it every day, or every night I get out of the shower. I smother my face. I smother my face in it. And I notice a big difference because on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I don't use the face oil because I'm just like, whatever, I don't have to go to work, whatever. And my face gets dry and like it just doesn't feel right. But this oil is like, it's $60. It's expensive. But, like, it's like a liquid bottle gold. Is it going to stop anything? No. It's still going to age. It's just going to kind of make it less abundantly noticeable.
Right. What is going on with your neighbors? There's a whole conversation going on with your neighbors.
Let me quickly give you a rundown. As you guys all know, I live in a neighborhood where all these houses are brand newly built. So it's a brand new build neighborhood. So all these houses were all the first owners, right? And the neighborhood isn't even done being built. They're still building phase 3. So they're still building houses here. Our neighbor moved in. And at first, and we were told they hadn't moved in yet, but we were told that they were from Canada. So we're thinking, okay, cool, whatever. And all of a sudden they move in.
I remember them. Yes. Okay.
And they move in and we find out that the owner, and I'll explain why I'm using air quotations in a minute, is 19 years old. And I'm like, okay, first of all, how do you afford a house of this magnitude, of this like cost at 19? Come to find out, his grandmother and his grandmother bought it basically and put him as like the co-owner, like on the title. So he really didn't buy the house. His grandmother bought it, but put him as like the owner. So it's grandma and him. Okay. They're from Canada. So grandmama and the mother they're still in Canada. They ain't even here. So it's like the frat house next door. Like he's 19 years old. God, people are coming and going all hours of the day, all hours of the night. He's a bartender or a server. I think he's a server at some restaurant or bar or something somewhere. And he's got 3 dogs. Now, those of you who are not familiar with Florida, it gets hot. Now, it's not as hot in the winter and fall, but it's still kind of hot. And from the get-go, he's been doing things like taking the poo from his dogs in the backyard and almost flinging it into the neighbor's yard, like just putting it in a pile right on their line of their house, of where the yards meet, putting in a giant pile. So the stench goes into the neighbor's house, not us, but on the other side of the house. They've also been taking their 3 dogs and locking them in the garage. No water, no food, no windows, no ventilation, no doors, nothing. Just darkness, heat, humidity in the middle of Florida all day long. And they bark and bark and bark and bark because these dogs are left in the fucking garage. With the garages, not us at all the garages, because his house is a different model than ours. His is a 1-story. But the garages don't have doors. They don't have windows. There's no ventilation. It gets hot. As you know, Justin, here in Florida, garages get hot as fuck when you don't have doors, windows, AC, ventilation. It's just a fucking room, sweltering heat. And he's leaving the fucking dogs in there. Like, and then the kicker of the whole story is we didn't really know how bad it was until the guy who sold us our Tesla solar panel situation, he sold it to the neighbors next door as well. He one day came over to our house and said, "Can I use your bathroom?" We're like, Aiden, we knew it pretty well because we were kind of chummy with him.
I literally pulled this card during your story.
That's funny. We were kind of friendly and chummy with him, but we're like, "Yeah, sure, Aiden, come on in." We're like, he's like, "I just came from next door and I couldn't use their bathroom." I go, "Why?" He goes, "I went in there to go over the contract with him, and there's flies everywhere. There's shit everywhere. There's piss everywhere. It was disgusting to the point where I had to politely ask if we could talk about the contract on the patio."
It's a brand new build.
Brand new fucking house. And it has been destroyed by these dogs. Not to mention that only one of the dogs was roaming free in the house when he was there. The other 2 were locked in the garage in the middle of the day. So after a while, the neighbors directly across the street, our neighbor on this side of us, he's a cool neighbor, good friends of ours, kind of diagonal across the street that my husband sold a fence to as well. Jay, he, same kind of thing. We're all in the same boat where we're hearing these dogs. We know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So finally, Anthony decided enough was enough, these poor dogs. So he called animal control. And animal control came the first time they weren't home, left a thing on the door, and then came again yesterday and actually physically spoke to them for like an hour or whatever and told Anthony that if it continues to happen, the dogs continue to be left in the garage, to call again because it's just going to get worse for them. The more animal control has to come out eventually, the action will be taken legally. But they said the dogs were okay. They were not in poor condition or anything like that. But they did inform them that, like, listen, you can't put, I don't know what goes on in Canada. It's colder up there, whatever, but this is Florida. You cannot put your 3 dogs in a garage for a full day like that. It's not even about the barking. The thing is, the barking is not that big of a deal. When you have the TV on or whatever, you can barely hear it. It's not that big of a deal. It's a fact that because they're barking because of where they're left at. That's the problem.
Right.
So yeah, this kid next door, all our neighbors, everybody on the whole block, we all can't stand him. And the thing is, it sucks is actually when you speak to him, he's actually a really nice person. He's just a 19-year-old kid.
He's just a stupid kid.
Should not be living in a house by himself. You shouldn't have been given a house by grandmama. You know what I mean? Like, who's still in Canada. Like, that was not a smart move to buy your grandson a house. You're not ready for that at 19. You have no responsibility. And there's people coming and going, loud music. It's the frat house. He's 19. He's a kid.
Right.
So we finally called animal control, and we're just going to keep on calling animal control if it continues to happen. So that's that story.
They need to take the dogs.
He's got a Chihuahua and like two kind of lab looking, like golden retriever kind of lab kind of mixes.
Your drunk aunt. I bet he's making incredible memories.
Yeah, he's got like an inflatable hot tub out back. Okay,
oh, girl.
a fire pit that doesn't belong on grass. It's supposed to be for like a patio that's been paved. So it's like this on the ground because it's not meant for grass. He doesn't mow his lawn. You know, it's fucked
It's
up.
a shit show.
When Aiden came over and said, I need to use your bathroom, he's like, I had to pee the whole time, but I refused to use his bathroom. I'm like, it was that bad? He goes, it was that bad. He's like, there were flies everywhere. I'm like, but these are brand new houses. He's like, I know.
I think your drunk aunt has the same attracted, like, empowering all the wrong men. Grandma's money, yes, ma'am. Check, please.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God. What a fucking disaster. I feel like I'm going to sneeze again.
Okay.
Gesundheit. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary.
All right, well.
I have a stray booger.
I gotta go.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen you drink anything this whole goddamn episode, but my bottle's gone. Yeah, an empty glass. How much is in the bottle? Yeah, I don't want to hear shit. Get more. Yeah, the same amount there was when we started.
I'm sorry. Did you get up at 6:30 this morning and walk to work a 13-hour shift? Oh, that's right.
I did get up at 6:30, but I did not. I took a nap on the couch, honey. I literally woke up. I was like this.
Were you trying to stop me?
What time is that? I was like, it's 7:35.
Yeah, okay. I woke up at 6:33 and have been at work ever since. Shit, I'm still at work. This is actually just a green screen.
I'm still in the office.
I'm still in the office.
Can you imagine Granny when she gets there and sees that shit?
Well, here's the funny thing. She came like 2 weekends ago because so many complaints. She came, and what we were told, I didn't see it because I was busy, but we were told that like 3 huge, massive, like lawn-sized, like trash bags and trash cans all got hauled out. But here's the funny thing: once Grandma went back to Ontario, oh, the shenanigans all started back up again. Oh, there's a rocket launch in 7 minutes.
You heard it here first on Wine and Witchcraft Live.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Oh, God. Poor Grandmama.
Poor Grandma.
She's an idiot. She should know better.
I mean, I would never buy a house for, I don't care how rich you are or whatever. It's not even about that. Like, I would never buy a house for my 19-year-old. You need to live in a frat house, a real frat house, live in an apartment, whatever, destroy it, whatever. Like, you're a kid. You're 19. A brand new fucking house. Are you fucking insane?
The problem is that shelters will most likely put them down. Okay, I'm going to say something controversial. I think we need to start putting some people down. The population control needs to be under control.
Yes.
Let me say that. Just
that's what COVID was for.
I gotta go. I'm not the conspiracy theories right
now.
now.
Honestly, like that's a really bad joke because there's a lot of people that I really like that died of COVID.
No, but it is funny.
No, but it is funny.
I mean, hey, I'm not comedy. You should be able to not necessarily say anything, but very close to it. Like comedy.
You should know that it's humor and that it's not meant to be.
But in 2024, like comedy is. Everybody's sensitive to everything, and it's kind of just like get over yourself. Like, good goddamn, let's just laugh and laugh at it. Okay, we've all been through shit. We get it. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like at least one generation of women should be sterilized.
Well, I think that that's just really retarded.
I mean, at this point, look. Okay, have you seen the thing about how Florida's like one of the most, or is becoming one of the most expensive states to live in? Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, like everything keeps going up. Everything's so expensive. I just miss. I wish we could go back to the days where we paid each other in rocks. Can
I have some tea and crumpets? I would like some more bread.
The witches would be thriving, honey.
Oh, honey. Millionaires. Shit.
All the fucking crystals sitting all over all the goddamn altars. Oh God. It is way easier. Honey, I'm all for it. Let me tell you something. When Peyton passed away, Rach was like, I don't think I want to get a hysterectomy. I'm sorry, I'm drunk. A hysterectomy or my tubes tied. I said, that's fine, honey. I'll fucking get castrated. I don't fucking care. Take it all. Take it all away. I'm not doing this again. Done. Honey, I agree. I think just immediately snip. Who needs testicles? They just hang there. They get in the way.
I mean, this is true. Like, I even was trying to convince Jizzy to move to the last show that we went to. We went backstage and I was talking. I forget how we got on the subject. Oh, he was talking about geriatrics. He was he's like, I can't with these people walking around the casino with their damn IVs. He's like, it's nothing but geriatrics down here. And I was like, oh, come on, like, man, like you guys gotta when you do retire, whenever the hell that is, like you gotta move down here. And he's like, he looked at me like, for what? I'm like, for me. And he just rolled his eyes and started laughing. He goes, okay.
I mean, hey.
Oh shit.
The sweater weather's hard to do.
Yeah, he is in Florida now. And here's the thing, Nina. I was like, when I saw it on Instagram, because I follow all the boys, and I saw it on Instagram, and before I really looked into what Sunfest was, I sent the screenshot to Anthony, and I'm like, hey, they're coming back, right? So I'm like, cool, like whatever. And then Anthony's like, yeah, but babe, this is Sunfest. Like, well, what the fuck is that? And he's like, well, it's a lot of people in the heat. You're shoveled in like cattle, and it's a huge festival of all. And Jizzy and the boys are only going to be on stage for 20 minutes to half an hour, whatever. Like, it's not going to be the full experience. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, yeah. He's like, do you really want to be shuttled in with sweaty old people and drunk people and high people and whatever, and not have the full quiet ride experience like we normally do? And I'm like, yeah, no. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I know that you really want to go, but do you really want to go? And I'm like, I love him, but not this time. Not for that. So anyway, that was that situation.
Yeah. If I could just get a little left here.
Don't even start. I was going to send you a photo from work today, and I was sitting at my desk, and I was kind of like sitting like this. Like, I didn't want anybody to see that I was taking a picture, so I had my phone, and I was like this, trying to take like a selfie of myself. And it ended up, when I took the picture and I looked at it before I sent it to you, it was me going, like, and I had like 8 pins. And Quincy's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. Delete. I was going to send Justin like just a goofy picture of myself, but I had like 8 chins, and I just don't think that that's appropriate. She's just like, okay, I'm done.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Your drunk aunt wants to know where you're from.
Originally, or where I'm at now?
Where you're from, bitch. Where did you originate? Where were you conceived? Where were your parents when your dad came inside your mom? Where did that happen?
Well, if you want to go that far back, I was a little egglet. I was a little egglet in Hawaii. That's where I was conceived.
Okay, so you're Hawaiian.
No. This is actually conceived on their honeymoon, strange enough, in Hawaii. But no, I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts.
I think wherever you're conceived is where you're from because, the pro-lifers say that life happens at conception. So you're Hawaiian.
Deo, me say Deo. Be like, come on, we wanna go.
I hate myself. I wish I was dead.
You guys have to excuse us. You got to understand that Justin works the exact opposite in every way, shape, or form than I do. He works nights, but he also works like when I'm off, my days off, he's working. So we never see each other as much as we used to. So this right here is the lack of communication or seeing or hanging out. We normally do the stuff without you guys here and act like this without you guys here.
Right.
The problem is that this is the only time we get to see each other. So you get all the shenanigans on crack. So that's what's happening.
God, I wish I was on crack. Like the weight loss insane. I'm like, whenever I see someone's a drug addict, I'm like, but why are you still obese? Like, if I'm going to use drugs, I'm going to be skinnier. Like, I don't want to exist. I just want to be a voice in the universe. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to hear me from the ether. Like, I don't want to actually exist.
See, I can't do drugs because I don't think I'm very good on them.
Oh, God. Okay, we're an hour and 16 minutes in. I've had a whole bottle of wine. I work at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
I thought you work at like nighttime.
On Fridays I work 10. On Fridays I work 10 to 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, crackhead skinny. That's what they call it in the Bronx. We call it here in Florida, at least in this area of the state, we call it methany. When we
methany. Here's the weird thing. I know they say that like parts of Florida, like the meth capital, whatever. I know we have more than our fair share.
We do.
Whatever. Just kind of like St. Olaf has its more share of dumb people in the universe. But I don't really see them.
That's because you don't pay attention. There's drug addicts everywhere.
I don't understand the fun of that though. Like I don't get it.
I don't think it's fun. I think it starts off as fun and then it becomes like a dependency. And then it's not fun. That's what I think. I've never been an addict, but that's what I gather.
Well, I mean, I'm an addict, but I'm an addict to Red Bull. I can't give it up no matter how much I try. I'm a Red Bull person and I can't stop. And as many times as people have told me to stop, it ain't going to happen. I also vape, as you know. Psst. What are you going to do?
Again, we've seen so many things like, Operation Dumbo. No, Operation Desert Storm. Operation Desert Storm didn't kill us, okay? And the Cuban Missile Crisis didn't kill us. 9/11 didn't kill us. We're still here. I think we're just gambling at this point. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? You only live once. And at this point, the days are long and the years are short. That's what somebody said. And I agree with that. You only live once. I think like all this craziness is just building us up to be the craziest ancestors that have ever existed.
Well, you know how they say, like, when you think about your ancestors, you're thinking about, like, the choices they made and paved the way for you to exist or for you to have the life that you have or whatever. I was actually thinking about that the other day, like, how my mom worked 3 jobs to keep a roof over her head. We never had an issue where, like, the lights went out because she didn't pay a bill. We never had an issue where there wasn't food. We never, she worked, like, to the bone. But it's kind of like, then I think to myself, like, she made choices, yes, but could she have made choices that she wouldn't have had to work 3 jobs? And I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword when you think about it. Like, yeah, she did a lot of things so that we would survive and be where we are today. But could she have made better choices?
Right.
I don't know. It's one of those things you get you thinking. I don't. But that was part of like my midlife crisis. You know, I started thinking about like my childhood and like the things that shaped who I am today. And I actually was told one time when I used to work at Walmart. This is like maybe my 5th year there. Not even 5 years working there. I was told by a manager one time before I was a manager that I needed to change who I was. That was his exact words in my eval. He's like, you need to change how you conduct yourself and how you speak and who you are. Those were his exact words. And I remember looking at him going, you want me to change how I speak? He's like, well, you have a really loud voice. And, well, I just think that, you know, in a business situation, sometimes you need to tone it down a little bit. You want me to change the projection of how loud my voice comes across. And then he's like, yeah, and sometimes like your jokes are just really not funny. I'm like, well, are they sexual harassment anyway? Well, no. Are they inappropriate anyway? Well, no. They're just not funny. What? Like, he wanted me to straight up change my personality because it didn't fit Walmart's mold. I looked at him and I said, I'm not changing who I am to fit your idea of what a jewelry department manager should look, feel, sound like. That ain't gonna happen. So you can take your little eval and shove it up your ass. I didn't change a damn thing about who I was. Fuck that, man. He ended up working there for another 6 months and got fired anyway. Just saying.
Fuck it.
Tell me to change who I am. Are you fucking serious? You know, that's nothing even where I work now. I was saying something that wasn't inappropriate. It was something like I was asking someone a question about something work related. And my voice is very loud. Those of you who know me, have met me in person, my voice is just that my voice box is naturally loud. I'm a loud person. I can't help that. That's how I was born. And I had one of the providers come out. We were just chit-chatting about something, and we're talking about like loudness or something. And she looked at me, she goes, yeah, Brittany, you are really loud. You should probably think about, like, since you work in the medical field now, to bring your voice down a little. And I looked at her, I go, are you fucking serious? You want me to stop being part of who I am? I'm not going to sit here and whisper just for you. She's like, oh, no, I didn't mean offense. I'm just saying, when I'm in my office, I can hear your voice. Again, am I saying anything inappropriate? Well, no, I just can hear your voice.
No.
I can't change my voice, you know, because some people, you know how some people are actually really quiet? Some people are really quiet and some people are really loud. Look, I don't know. My voice is just naturally loud. I can't help it.
Are you just talking really loud?
Really loud, and I had to go.
And I literally just swiped the thing and I just went away.
Yeah, and this provider no longer works there. But yeah, I was told that my voice was too loud. And then said I work in the medical field, I should tone it down.
No.
It's not like I was talking about patients or anything like that. I was just talking about, just like I could be talking about like this pair of scissors. And my voice was just, it was too loud.
I feel like you have to be loud. Like sometimes in the medical field, you just have to be an asshole because otherwise these patients will just run right the fuck over you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I would never ask someone to change any aspect of their personality unless their personality was inappropriate. Then That's different. But I wasn't telling a sex joke. I think I was actually asking about like, hey, what's the account number for that patient or something. I was talking about work. What did you just do?
I was just, in my mind, I was just picturing you at the desk saying yes. And do you have a pussy too?
Do you have a poupée? Because you're going to take that off before the x-ray.
Oh, God. What a shit show. I'm loud as fuck. I agree with what Brittany said. Celtic Crone Fae. Like, I know I'm too loud. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. That's just how I am. I can do my job. That's just how I am. Like, I've seen too much. I've been through too much. Like, we've lived through too much. I cannot be bothered. And they laugh at me where I'm at now because most of them are very timid. And some of these patients are drunk and they're assholes and they're whatever. And I'm not having it. They're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I don't think we're going to be able to finish this exam. Yes, we are. But I worked at Lakeland, and that's like a big part of their clientele is like drunk homeless people, and they're very aggressive, and you have to like be able to take control of the situation. Like, no, you need to lay the fuck down, cut it out, stop it. Now you came in here, you let me do what I got to do, and I'll leave you alone. Like, no, we're not having it. Cut it out. It's enough. You don't have to be so aggressive with me. Okay, go to sleep. Don't let me do what I gotta do.
Do you need some help? Here's a brick.
Here's a little Coke to get through.
To get us through. Yeah, I don't know. Like, she was trying to come from, I think this situation, not the Walmart situation, but this situation, I think she was trying to come off like not aggressive. I don't think she's trying to come off as hurting my feelings. And it didn't really hurt my feelings. It was just kind of like telling someone who's fat they're fat. Do you think they don't know they're fat? Like, I was
yes.
I was looking at her like, and I even said to her, I go, do you think I don't know that my voice is loud? I go, I was born and raised this way. I'm also a Bostonian, which makes it worse. I was like, so you're going to get loud, Brittany. I can tone it down when it comes to patients, which I always do if I'm talking about, I very quietly if you're talking about a patient or whatever. But when it comes to asking you if you get scissors, I ain't not going to tone my voice level down for you because you can hear my voice in your office.
All right.
Fucking stupid bitch.
Massholes are loud as fuck. And Peyton had surgery in Boston, and people were telling us like people in Boston are so rude. I'm like, they're perfect. They don't speak unless they're spoken to. Like, we don't want to communicate. Same thing in New York. Yeah. Unless I need to talk to you. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. And that's the kind of society that I like.
That's basically how I was born and raised. Like, if I don't want to talk to you, I don't have to. And that's how other Bostonians are. That's why they call us Little New York, because we have that attitude edge. We're not as quite as like feisty and ridiculous, but we have that loud edge, and we talk when we want to talk. And if we don't want to talk to you, we should have every right. Like, for instance, one of my positions in Walmart, I used to come into work in the morning. I was a teacher, and I used to come into the office, and I would just throw my stuff down, sit and log into the computer, whatever. I didn't say anything to anybody. And my boss would be like, "Good morning." And I'd be like, "Sup?" Like, I'm not going to say good morning to every fucking person I fucking pass in the fucking hallway. Like, that's how us Bostonians are. Like, if we want to say good morning, we'll say good morning. If we're not feeling that morning, doesn't mean we don't like you, we're mad at you or anything else. We're not in the mood. Like, we're not going to say, and so people thought I was like a stuck-up bitch because I wouldn't say good morning in the morning to every single person I passed on the way to the fucking office. Are you fucking serious? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, see, I'm not a fan of things that are alive. So I don't know. Like, that's why, like, this is why I became an X-ray tech and not a nurse, because I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours with a patient. I just want to do. She's a Libra. If you hadn't been able to catch that, honey, she's a Libra.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend hours with a patient. I don't want to have the same patient day and day. I want to do what I got to do and then get the fuck out. Like, I can't. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I mean, when it comes to patients, I'm super, super fake. And that's what you have to be. I'm like, hey, like, what brings you in today? Oh, you got a UTI? Okay, well, I'm going to need you to leave a urine sample. All this stuff is in the bathroom there, the cups, the pens, the everything. You just leave in the little door, when you're done, and we'll come and get it, okay? Okay, have a seat. I'm like, fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that's what your life is, Us Bostonians, like, we can be as sweet as pie to you when it comes to profession, but we don't fucking want you in our fucking office with your damn stinky vagina. No, honey.
I just came here to get a check. You think I want to work?
I'm just here for the money, honey. I don't care less about your goddamn pussy.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I love how
this episode of Wine and Witchcraft, since we're winding down, has been nothing but punani, yeast infections, car accidents, Bostonians, people being too loud, mass suicide, mass genocide.
All of it.
All of it. Yeah, Brittany's a bitch. She doesn't say bye when she leaves in the morning. She just walks out the door. That's so true. I get up in the morning. I take a shower. I put my scrubs on. I throw some makeup on. And I make sure I got phone, keys, wallet, vape. And I walk out the bedroom door. And Anthony always goes, bye. See ya. Have a nice day. I just keep on.
Literally, I'm here for the money, not the pussy. Now that belongs on a shirt.
Yes,
we were actually talking at my PRN job. They're like, well, the last person that worked here, we found out after she left that she's a swinger. I said, okay. Like there was a group of us. I was like, unfazed. And they kind of looked at me like I'm a psycho. I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, and she has an OnlyFans. Okay, good for her for making the money. Like I don't understand what the problem is. Like she's like, well, her and her husband do it. Okay, so they're both two consenting adults that are making money, honey, and they don't even have to leave the house. Honey, that's the dream.
Well, then you had to ask the question: how did they know
Right.
OnlyFans if you're not subscribed to it?
Like,
all right, who here is subscribed? Who here is subscribed?
Right. Like, because it's OnlyFans, so who paid to see it? Because somebody had to pay.
Somebody paid $29.99. I want to know which one of you it is.
They came, they swarmed, they died. I'm just like, okay. And they're like, well, I mean, she's like in the medical field. I'm like, so what? Who cares? You're just mad because you're fat, you're ugly, you have saggy titties, your husband doesn't love you, and you're mad that he's not fucking you on camera and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by having sex. That's your problem, right? Because you're fucking disgusting and I don't even like looking at you at work, you ugly bitch.
You're an ugly fish.
I said ugly bitch. Why would I say ugly fish?
We're talking about Annie's. I don't know if she had an infection or something.
Why would I know if her pussy has an infection? I mean, my thing is, I just don't see it the big deal. Like, first of all, you've worked with me for 3 months, and you think I'm going to be shocked by you telling me someone who used to work here has an OnlyFans? Like, okay, I'm jealous, just like the rest of you. I'm just willing to admit it. Okay.
I mean, honestly, the OnlyFans could just be like toe sucking.
It could be. Yeah.
How do you know they're actually like, doing a push? I mean,
right. You're the one paying for it, bitch. Again, that's a good, like, brings us full circle. Who's fucked up? Her for being a swinger? Or you for paying to watch it, bitch? Like, okay, so she likes to watch her husband have sex with other people. Okay, he likes, who cares? They're consenting adults making money. Why do you care?
I mean, it's not like one of them is selling their cheese on the internet, on the black market.
Right. And even if I saw someone selling their fat cheese from their rolls making money, I would be mad that I had bariatric surgery. I have missed a financial opportunity. I'm going to start wearing like underwear and running around the lake and just start selling fucking sweaty ball underwear. Okay. I have no shame. I don't care. If you're willing to buy it, I'm willing to do it. As long as it's legal. Let's just saying.
I think we should make sure it's just say ugly fish ?
Ugly fish?
Welcome to Wine and Witchcraft, where every audience member gets a poupée.
Right. Could you imagine if that was like we just had a little vag patch somewhere in the thumbnail? Like, I'm done.
That's what I'm gonna be for Samhain episode this year. I'm just gonna put a patch of hair.
Be a pussy patch.
I need to send you the video after this episode is over. You're gonna be like, "What the
fuck?" Please send it to me because I haven't seen it yet.
That's great. Oh fuck.
Oh God. Okay, we're at an hour and 35 minutes. This Shannon, it has to end. We can't keep abusing the world in this manner. Okay, so the next episode is going to be May 16th. We are going to ask someone to be on the show. She is in the audience, but we have not reached out at this point. We want to talk about the wheel of the year and the Sabbats and how to incorporate that into your practice. So if you can have an idea, does that sound like you? Then it's probably you. So we want to reach out to that said person. And the episode will be May 16th, which is the Thursday at 9 p.m. So that'll be our next episode. Following that, our following episode will be another Broomsticks and Bullshit, which will be similar to this, where we just kind of free talk and hang out and be ridiculous. And that will be May 30th. So those are the next two episodes coming up, the 16th and the 30th. Obviously, you can always subscribe to the channel and you will see the title cards, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook if you want.
All right. Well, that has been a wonderful episode. I so needed this to hang out with you guys and just talk about the poupée and the punene. So it has been a lot of fun, and I hope to see you guys not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that for more shenanigans. Because, even though it's about the Sabbats, someone's going to be doing something with a poupée. Who knows? So we will see you then. And I thank you guys for coming along for the wild ride that is Broomsticks and Bullshit, Wine and Witchcraft.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.